Hey, Bison Band, I have a new rhythm challenge for you today. In the previous levels, we've done rhythm performance, where given a rhythm, you are performing it using your spacebar. Now, they're going to play a rhythm for you, and you are going to need to write it down. So it's kind of the opposite of what we were doing before, but I've got a couple strategies to show you to help with this. This one you may benefit from having some scratch paper and a pencil for to write out a rough draft and test it before you enter it in. That's really going to help with cutting down the number of errors if you have a chance to see it and test it before you enter it into your screen. I have this set on easy, which means you're only going to be seeing quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. 1 beat, 2 beat long notes, 4 beat long notes in this activity today. Let's try a couple together. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to see are two empty measures, and then you're going to see the length of notes that are available for this. So what we're going to ask here is we're going to take play rhythm, and you're going to hear a sample of it. Now I recommend that as you listen to it, that you tap your foot. You're going to hear the 4 clicks beforehand, before the rhythm starts playing, that are going to tell you how fast the tempo is going. I would line up my foot taps with those. Tap, 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 tap. So I tried to say out loud so you can hear it, that it's me tapping my foot along to the beat. That doesn't mean I'm tapping to the rhythm. So I'm tapping to the beat, whether a note is longer than that or not, my foot just keeps tapping every single beat. And that means that then I can count the number of foot taps for each note that I have. That's going to tell me how long each one is. So let's listen to it again. Okay, so I'm listening through here and I hear a lot of quarter notes that are worth 1 beat, but I also know that I hear at least one note that's longer than a beat. Now here's where I would start to map things out on my scratch paper. For example, I know that I hear the first note is definitely a quarter note, so I would add that in. And then I'm going to listen because I know one of the notes in the first measure is longer than that. So I'm going to see if I can find out where that longer note is. So on my scratch paper, I would have a quarter note written first, and then I would have a half note written next. And the reason I would is because I can hear that the second note that you hear in this recording is 2 beats long. Then I hear a quarter note. And then let's check this last measure. I think that I hear 4 quarter notes here, but let's listen to it together and see if that matches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice I said my counts out loud there, and sometimes that can be helpful too, in that I'm realizing what beat a longer note might start on and help me count how many beats that note is. So what I've got in my scratch paper right now is a quarter note, half note, quarter note, then quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. Or looks like this. Quarter note, half note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. There, aha, we got it. Now remember that after you get it all the way written out, go back and test it again before you put it in so you don't have errors from making guesses. Guess on your paper, not on the rhythmic dictation screen here. Okay, let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, this one's got a longer note mixed in. Interesting. Let's listen to it again. And again, I'm saying the counts out loud to help you with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can hear in the last measure, because I'm counting out loud, you could probably hear it too. The last measure, I say a note on a 1, and then it plays all the way through when I'm saying 2, 3, 4. To me, that's screaming whole note right there. So we're going to use that. I've got on my scratch paper right now. I think I hear the first note is longer than a beat. I hear a couple quarter notes, and then I hear a whole note for sure. So I know the last measure is definitely going to be a whole note. Let's figure out the rest of this first measure here. See if that first note is a half note or not. So that's what we're listening for now. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what we're hearing is correct. The first note is definitely longer than a beat, and I'm seeing the only option there that's going to fit here is going to be a half note. And I can definitely hear that there are 2 quarter notes that come afterwards. That perfectly fits our measure. Each of these measures is going to have only 4 beats to it. That's important here. So 4 beats for each, and you're going to want to make sure you add that up. 4 quarter notes makes 4 beats, 2 half notes makes 4 beats, 1 whole note makes 4 beats. So let's start with this. Let's add in our half note, quarter note, and then our whole note. And again, using scratch paper allowed me to get that roughed out and then listen to it and check it before I added it in to avoid issues along the way. Now, for your hints, you can use this to show answer and then go ahead if you get stuck, but it doesn't give you anything completed here. So if you get stuck on one and you need to move on, you can, but remember it doesn't give you any credit as far as completing anything here. So if you use the show answer to check your work in this, you have to make sure that you're still completing them before you move on. And it's going to ask you to do 30 of them with 10 or fewer errors. So good luck. If you have questions about this, you can always send me an email and I will be glad to get back to you.